Alright, moving on. Okay. Require the following goals and projects. A. Building resiliency against climate change related disasters such as extreme weather, included by leveraging funding and providing investments for community defined projects and strategies. Okay. Repairing and upgrading the infrastructure in the United States, including 1. By eliminating pollution and greenhouse gas emissions as much as technologically feasible. Okay, that's a good argument. Or a good, yeah, that's well worded. 2. By guaranteeing universal access to clean water. Okay, good. By reducing the risk posed by climate impact. Okay. By ensuring that any infrastructure bill considered by Congress addresses climate change. Okay. C. Meeting 100% of power demand in the United States through clean, renewable, and zero-emission energy sources, including, okay, that's not going to happen, but, we could shoot for the moon. I'm fine with that. 1. By dramatically and upgrading renewable power sources, and 2. By deploying new capacity. Okay, upgrading is good. Expanding. Oh, well, I was talking about renewable power sources. So, the one thing when it comes to renewable energy is that a lot of people don't take into account the cost of manufacture and transport of renewable energy sources, or cleaner sources. So that's just one thing I would want to make sure we're observing as we drive towards renewable sources. For instance, if we're making all of our solar panels in Australia and having them all brought over here on a ocean liner, which uses probably petroleum-based energy or whatever. How much are we really helping the environment? Just that kind of thing. D. Building or upgrading to energy efficient, distributed, and smart power grids and ensuring affordable access to electricity. No. Okay. The whole smart power grids thing. Yeah. There are some things okay, so like this is the whole thing of why I'm against driverless vehicles. Okay, anything can be hacked. Period. Finished. Anything can be hacked. If you create a smart power grid, you are granting easier access and therefore making it easier to hack. That is just asking for problems. E. Upgrading all existing buildings in the United States and new buildings to achieve maximum energy efficiency, water efficiency, safety, affordability, comfort, and durability, including through electrification. Again, if you're going to start tearing down buildings or upgrading buildings, again, make sure the cost doesn't outweigh the gains. F. Spurring massive growth in clean manufacturing in the United States and removing pollution and greenhouse gas emissions from manufacturing industry as much as technologically feasible, including by expanding renewable energy manufacturing and investing in existing manufacturing industry. Okay, good. Working collaboratively with farmers and ranchers in the United States to remove pollution and greenhouse gas emissions from the agricultural sector as much as technologically feasible, including 1. By supporting family farming, 2. By investing in sustainable farming and using land use practices that increase soil health, and 3. By building more sustainable food system that ensures universal access to healthy food. So one thing Okay, so one thing about this is there's the whole idea of um, GMOs, pesticides, and you know and that kind of things. It basically like every and even with like meat and everything too. I mean, I, I think the last time I ate what I consider to be real meat, I was in Mexico, because you know if you eat meat here in the States, it's most likely ridden with hormones, and if you eat vegetation, it's most likely laden with pesticides. So I think that would have been good to cover in here, unless it covers somewhere else, but I don't think so. Um, overhauling transportation systems in the United States to remove pollution and greenhouse gas emissions from the transportation sector as much as technologically feasible, including through investment in one, zero emission vehicle infrastructure and manufacturing. Um, okay. Clean, affordable, and accessible public transit. Okay, good. And 3, high-speed rail. What kind of rail? And high-speed rail to what? Between what? For what? Is it transportation? And that just leaves more questions than it points you in a direction of. Alright, mitigating and managing long-term adverse health, economic, and other effects of pollution and climate change, including by providing funding for community-defined projects and strategies. Okay. Yeah. So basically, letting communities point out what affects them. Removing greenhouse gases from the atmosphere and reducing pollution by restoring natural ecosystems through proven low-tech solutions that will increase soil carbon storage, such as land preservation and deforestation. Okay. Yeah, plants remove carbon dioxide, and yet we cut down a lot of them, and Okay. Restoring and protected, threatened, endangered, and fragile ecosystems through locally appropriate and science-based projects that enhance biodiversity and support climate resiliency. Yes, this is something that people tend not to pay attention a lot to. Biodiversity isn't all about looking at things that are pretty. It's about a practical way of looking at our own survivability. The only ecological systems that survive. Okay, the more biodiverse an ecological system it is, the higher chances it has to be sustainable and self-sustaining and regenerative. L. Cleaning up existing hazardous waste and abandoned sites, ensuring economic development and sustainability on those sites. Okay. A little ambiguous there. M. Identifying other emission and pollution sources and creating solutions to remove them. Should say remove them and or reduce them significantly. And N. Promoting the international exchange of technology, expertise, products, funding, and services with the aim of making the United States the international leader in climate action and to help other countries achieve a Green New Deal. Okay, that's a little interventionist, but okay. And that becomes the question, like I've said before, no one's an island. So how much are we going to affect other countries based on how they're going to affect us, and in what ways are we going to do that? And these are legitimate discussions, because everybody affects each other. Okay, 3. A Green New Deal must be developed through transparent and inclusive consultation, collaboration, and partnership with frontline and vulnerable communities, labor unions, worker cooperatives, civil society groups, academia, and businesses. Yes. And 4. To achieve a Green New Deal goals, mobilization, a Green New Deal will require the following goals and projects. A. Providing and leveraging in a way that ensures that the public receives appropriate ownership stakes and returns on investment, adequate capital, including through community grants, public banks, and other public financing, technical expertise, supporting policies, and other forms of assistance to communities, organizations, federal, state, and local government agencies, and businesses working on the Green New Deal mobilization. So yeah, make sure we're putting our money to things that are going to benefit the people, because this Green New Deal is supposed to be a benefit to people. B. By ensuring that the federal government takes into account the complete environmental and social costs of impacts of emissions through 1. Existing laws, 2. New policies and programs, and 3. Ensuring that the frontline and vulnerable communities shall not be adversely affected. And again, this is where using frontline and vulnerable communities, you're not being inclusive with that description. You're leaving people out. You're explicitly leaving people out. And this is the huge problem. And I'm just gonna go on a fucking rant after I read this thing. It's